Hi, I'm Kelly Foss, and this is video 4 of my 4-part series of drawing the face. Let's face it, faces are fun, but they can be challenging. So I broke it down into 3 videos to study the mouth, the nose, the eyes, and now this, in our 4th and final video, we get to do the full portrait. Oh, I want to get right into it. But first, I will be using Strathmore paper, and I'm going to be using Lyra pencils, HB, 4B, and 9B, as well as a Lyra red pencil. Any red will do. Okay, so now that we know our supplies, let's jump right into it. And here's a glimpse at my gorgeous model, Nina. I'm going to start off with the red, setting my boundaries and finding the outside angles of the head using straight lines. Subdividing the hair and checking the width to the height of the head. Her cheekbone to cheekbone width goes about twice from the top of her head down to the collar of her shirt. See this little tick mark that I just made? I'll put those down where I'm estimating important landmarks to be. In that case, it was where I'm estimating the shoulder to meet up with the neck and the face. It's hard to move something when we've fully drawn it, so when you're still constructing your drawing, it's better to use tick marks and dashes. Like here, I'm finding I need to move up this shoulder, judging the distance from the earlobe and how it connects to the jaw. Checking a point to point with the earlobes, and finding more specific tilts. Another shoulder to earlobe adjustment. I'm going to take this width again and now do it from the top forehead down, and that is finding us the center of the mouth. The earlobes line up pretty much exactly with the bottom of the nose, so now I can guesstimate the heights of the lips. I'm going to swipe in this brow. It's good to stay sketchy, but also clean up the lines that are no longer serving you. The eye bag line is pretty equally between the brow and the bottom nose. Blocking in shadow shapes and placing tick marks to indicate the corners of the mouth, judging from seeing the distance from the surroundings. From forehead to nose, that distance is the same distance from nose to collar of shirt. These classical realism techniques are called the observation method, but it's also referred to as the comparative measurement method. Go figure. From the corner of the mouth, I find the side of the nostril, and I'm finding the crease of the eye, judging its distance from the brow bone and the under eye line. There's a little diagonal flow here that I love. Though the eyes are round, if we draw them using straight lines, they end up looking more naturalistic. Judging from the distance of the side of the face, I find the side of the eye, and I take that measurement and I do it 3 times. Then I compare the corner of the eye to the tear duct on both sides to find the proper tilt of her eyes. I'm going to take a clean tissue and do a little fog out, focusing on the shadow and the darks. I'm reinforcing the lines that I'm deciding to go with, so my drawing becomes less sketchy and more sure. And just like in my eye drawing video, I explained the easier way to draw pupils is to draw the whites of the eyes. The blueprint is almost done, or the red print. And then let's just jump over to our darkest dark, which is a 9B. Resist putting in the lashes right now, but do draw the lash line. And touching the broken line darkness of the opening of the lips. Switching to a side hold to more broadly lay down graphite in the hair, and then smoothing it out. Switching to red to color the eyes, add warmth to the shadow, and redden the lips. Not the whole lip. She's not wearing lipstick. It's a very natural illuminated lip. To help with the layering, I'm going to massage that medium into the paper with the tissue. You know what is a great way to elevate your portraits is to make the whites of the eyes not white. So I'm taking the HB and I just toned in the shadow side of the whites of the eyes, as well as capturing some of the lashes' shadows. If you squint at your model and then look at your drawing, you can see areas of where you can build the value more. This building of layers, it's not just good for the glowiness of your drawing, but it's also good for the pencils. Switching to the 9B. If you go all out with graphite and try to put colored pencil on top, it might not work very well. And in the reverse, if you went all out with the colored pencil, the waxiness might not accept graphite on top of it. With the red, I'm now touching on the philtrum, which denotes the peaks of the lips up to the septum. With the 9B, I'm going to darken this right brow and eye and hair just to really emphasize that it is the shadow side of the head. Now this is fun. I'm going to take the red and add that warmth to the hair that's in the light, especially as it's turning into shadow. Give her a little wispy and then a little bit more power pack intensity of red, especially here on the cheek. It looks a little extreme, but we're going to smooth it down. To not get graphite where you don't want it, make sure you're using a clean tissue. And go from light to dark. Let's deepen the dimension of the hair with the 9B. And I'm not trying to do stringy spaghetti head, I'm just trying to add some darkness there. With the eraser, I'm adding some highlights and cleaning up the skin. Back to a sharp 9B to get our lashes in and the brow darkness. For a little more instruction on any of these features, please check out my other drawing videos in this series. Also leave a comment below. I would love to see if you made it through to the end of this video. I'm going to switch over to the HB now. I don't want to outline the jaw, but I want to shade in a little bit more of the downward facing plane, and same with the bottom lip here. And tap with my kneaded eraser where I went a little too hard. Red to help transition here on the cheek and right below the nose. And last time, I swear, if you want to guess in the comments how many times I switched pencils, I would love to see it. Here's the HB, just smooth in a little bit of splotchiness. And there she is. Okay, and that is it. Well, I hope you had fun. I sure did. Thank you for drawing with me. Thank you, Strathmore, my absolute favorite paper. Oh, what a whirlwind. I'm Kelly Foss. Until next time, happy drawing.